Welcome to episode 53 of Blue-Lusional in a week. We have a lot to cover. Let's jump right into a war update.
Yay. At the top of the week last week, Trump casually threatened genocide against Iran. Big shock. I know. I can't believe it. You can't believe it. He woke up. He said a whole civilization will die tonight. Blah, blah, blah. Open up the Strait of Hormuz.
8 p.m.
It's the typical Monday for him at this point, right? So he did that. The internet activated. Everybody started saying 25th Amendment because they saw politicians saying 25th Amendment, which was just very funny to me because all the politicians saying that knew good and goddamn well that there was no fucking way that the 25th Amendment is going to happen. Because if you don't know, the 25th Amendment would require the vice president, the cabinet, and a majority of Congress to all say the president is unfit for his job. That's not going to happen. It's just not. Okay.
Yep.
You guys then started calling for Article 2, Section 4. That's crazy. Pretty much follows the same exact process as impeachment. It's the same fucking thing. It's just more. It's just plus one. Okay? Again, not going to happen, guys. You know why? Because in 2024, you wanted to play games. You wanted to sit at home. You wanted to say Kamala's not good enough. She's not good enough for me. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to vote. So you gave them the presidency, the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court. So I don't know what you want them to do. You guys literally went out on a mission. You said, we want to punish the Democrats. You succeeded. You did it. Stop asking them to do stuff. I'm sorry that you have to hear this answer, but we don't have a chance of doing any of that until November, because that is when we can get a majority by taking back the House and the Senate. But we don't want to wait. We can't just wait. Okay, then revolt. Why aren't you, if you guys say we can't vote our way out of this, we'll get to that later. Why aren't you pulling up to Florida and DC and popping the fucking trunk and start blasting? I went on a rant there. So there was a ceasefire. JK, no, there wasn't, because we're allies with Israel, and Israel doesn't do ceasefires. They will continue to bomb. They said, the ceasefire between Iran and the U.S., that what does that have to do with us? We're going to keep bombing Lebanon, okay? We're going to genocide them. Which is funny because I'm not hearing all the people who love to talk about genocides talk about the one that's happening in Lebanon. But hey, whatever. So China, they're going to start arming Iran with high-tech air defense systems to shoot down American aircrafts. I mean, they didn't seem to have a problem with it before, but now it just looks like they're going to get better at that. So that's cool. Somebody asked Trump about, well, what do you think if, China would start to arm Iran? He said, well, if Iran does it, or China does it, China's going to have big problems. Sure. And it's looking real bad for Keg's Breath because there are active duty service members talking about their recent mission in Kuwait, where Pete essentially just said it was a great success. Nobody got killed. The drones didn't do anything. Active duty, if you know anything about active duty, they're not allowed to have an opinion. They have to remain indifferent. They cannot say, don't fuck with this until they're out. They are saying, this man is lying. Okay?
They said, are you
Hey guys, remember that shit you were getting on Hillary about? Remember that one? I didn't forget. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Yeah, Pete Hegseth's doing that now. Yeah. But it's not emails. He's just saying it out loud. He's just saying, yeah, no, it was fine. Kuwait was cool. Nothing happened. Don't worry about it. Don't fact check me. And to top of that all off, as of today, since the Strait of Hormuz is closed due to the fucking just nonsense of the United States, Trump said, you know what? Since it's closed, I'm going to make it double closed. So everybody who went on the side and made a deal with Iran, because that's what's happening. People said, hey, look, we don't even like the United States, okay? We don't fuck with those guys. They're fucking weird. Let us through. We'll give you a little Bitcoin because, you know, you guys want it to be untraceable. You got the sanctions on you. Right. We'll slide that under the table, okay? You let us through. Trump didn't like that, okay? Because Project 2025 didn't say that they could do that. That's not part of the plan.
I didn't plan for that.
Yeah, I know you guys think that every single thing they do is part of the plan, everything, and that there's no hiccups. I don't remember reading Iran close down the Strait of Hormuz and charge $2 million per ship. I don't remember reading that. I didn't see it. I remember them essentially saying that they'll take over Iran, you know, do a regime change, change up their policies. Yeah, I don't think they did any of that yet. Maybe it's the special Project 2025, 2025 and a half, where you shine a black light on it.
You need lemon juice to squirt on it and then hold a black light up to it.
Yeah. The acidity. Yeah, that see, that's
meanwhile Iran's like, thanks for closing it more.
Thanks for making us richer.
Thanks for the added security for free. Awesome.
Making bank. Thanks
guys. Nobody's
thanks for making us. Thanks for pole vaulting us into being a world superpower. We never saw this coming.
Damn, we thought it was closed and you guys said it sure damn is.
You right. You darn tootin'.
Darn tootin'. It's them Democrats. I just know when they got the call from, I'm sure it was Pete Hegseth, to go and block the strait. They were like, wait, you want to, what? Are we the bouncers for the strait now?
It's literally the meme of the stick figures.
I don't think we're supposed to be bouncers. Hey, can I see your identification before you come in here? The thing's closed. The moose house.
Show me your papers. Sorry, guys, you can't be ICE of the Strait of the Hormuz, okay? You can't ask all the ships to show you their papers. That's not here, all right?
Under the bridge. Can't get
You have to answer this riddle.
You're like, they're going to be Dora the Explorer out there. We can't go over it. Go under it. We've got to go through it. Swiper, no swiping. I'm so unserious about this. I have no choice. That shit's so funny. He's like, you know what? You thought it was closed? Now it's really closed. And
no, like, it isn't closed until I say so.
Closed.
That's literally what he did. Fucking petulant child.
Sure.
The Strait of Hormuz is closed. No, the Strait of Hormuz is closed now.
This is where we're at. This is 2026. We're 4 months
in. Not sick of this yet?
4 months in.
Was playing around in 2024 worth it?
That special edition, Project 2025.
2025 and a half. They're cooking. We're fucked. They really got it cooking up on us.
Well, let's talk about elections and primaries and news that came out this week. So if you guys don't remember, we had Sean Harris on back in January. He was running for Marjorie Taylor Greene's seat that she left open. So there was a special election. The special election was last month, and he advanced to the runoff against Clayton Fuller. And that was this past week. And unfortunately, he did not win. But history was made. So let's talk about it. This is District 14 in Georgia. This is ruby fucking red. This is red, Georgia. And it was only a 25-point swing in a very deep red Trumper territory. Okay? That is slimming that margin. Slimming it. Okay? Here's what we hope is going to happen. Clayton is MAGA. He's just another MAGA talking head. He's not going to do anything in the next however many months until November, 6 months. He's not going to do shit. Okay, nothing's passing, nothing's being brought to the floor. He's not gonna be able to do anything. And Georgia's the people in the redneck district, like my gun and my freedom flag,
And I just
their
want to drink
gas
my
is gonna keep
fish.
going up. Their groceries are still gonna be expensive, and they're gonna show up in November and say, Clayton, you didn't do shit.
This sucks.
This thing sucks. So, Sean will be back in November on that ballot because this special election was only to fill Marjorie's seat through the end of her term, and the end of her term would be January of 2027, which means Clayton only has that seat until January, which means general election this year, there's still going to be a general election for that seat for the new term. And Sean will be on that ballot. So the best thing that can happen right now is Clayton just keep doing whatever you gotta do. Go for it. Go full MAGA, full send it. Really show them. And then everybody will see that you're not helping. You're not doing shit. And he's going to be worse than Marjorie because at least Marjorie was America first. And the people of Georgia love that. Clayton is America first. He's Israel first.
Yeah.
They're not going to like that. So, Sean, we told him to keep his head high. He seems revved up and ready for November. If we're slimming the margin already and we know how much worse it's going to get, guys, buckle up. The shit's going to get worse. So it's going to get worse. I think that November is going to be very telling. So, not what we wanted. We wanted him to win, but just seeing how slim it's gotten. And you know that this is good because now the same podcasters, the same DNC talking heads that refused to talk about Sean Harris before this runoff are now talking about him, which means that they see that that is a flippable district now based on that margin. So now and we were like begging these people to talk about Sean and they wouldn't.
Yup.
Now they are. So I'm hoping that, as much as we have what we have to say about the corporate Dems and, a lot of these podcasts and talk show hosts that really only align with who the DNC tells them to, I am hoping they bring Sean on and let him talk, give him more exposure. If you want to see that district flip, everybody has to be all hands on deck. I've Had It podcast should have him on. Joy Reid, you should have him on. Don Lemon, all of them should have Sean on. We should see him everywhere.
I think he might have been on Don.
I don't remember if he was on Don or not. I know he was on some big one.
He was on CNN.
We should have him back on. Should have him back on. Just you followed the instructions. You guys passed the open book test yet again, and you secured it for the foreseeable future. So Chris Taylor won the Wisconsin State Supreme Court. He's Democrat, very liberal leaning, and it extended the majority in their SCOTUS. Their SCOTUS. 5-2. And the way that the terms are, there could not be a Republican majority again until like 2030, if that happens, which we know it won't. But
voting matters?
The earliest they could see a switch is 2030. So they've locked in their majority for the next 4 years.
Oh my God, that's crazy. They have a liberal-leaning Supreme Court in Wisconsin, meaning that they can like pass like all the liberal and like progressive stuff that they'd want. That it's almost like you should vote in local elections and not just every 4 years and then bitch and moan.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy. You want to know the people that would probably strike down a like statewide SAVE Act? This Supreme Court. That's crazy, right?
What?
Whoa.
Is that how that works?
If they try to redistrict Wisconsin, not around here,
say no?
That's what we mean by local elections are so important, by the way. Now, we're going to talk about Eric Swalwell. Unless you're living under a rock, you know what happened this week. And we're going to talk about it because this fired me up beyond all of my, I was on another level in orbit thinking, what the fuck is happening? Okay, Eric Swalwell, he's currently serving in the House of Representatives. He's been in the House of Representatives for several years. And he entered the race for governor of California. And he was a top contender, meaning it looked like he would be going to the general election, no problem. That he would probably be the Dem going. Well, as you know, we have never endorsed Eric on this channel. Devin and I had a very explicit conversation when he entered the race of like, can we make an I hate Eric Swalwell video because no
Sure
one likes
did.
me, Eric Swalwell. Devin, I'm pretty sure you did make a video.
I did. That was what TMZ initially wanted to talk to me about.
Yeah, TMZ reached out to have us on to talk about Eric Swalwell months ago. And Devin was going to come on, and then they threw us a curveball and made us talk about Nicki Minaj. But we have been Eric Swalwell haters. But
We
the
knew.
thing is, we live in California. So whatever California was going to do is what was going to happen. Well, this week, a survivor came forward who happens to be a former staffer and says that there were 2 separate incidents of sexual assault that occurred. She alleges the first incident happened in 2019 when she was working in his office, says that she became heavily intoxicated after going out for drinks and later woke up in a hotel room without clear memory of what happened, but that she could not consent to anything because she was intoxicated. The second incident occurred in April of 2024, so just 2 years ago. After a charity event in New York, she claims she was drinking again with him, told him no, tried to push him away, and then he forced himself on her. And she says that she was raped by him. So those allegations came out this week, which then led to additional women coming forward with separate accusations of misconduct, saying that he sent them inappropriate messages, sent them unsolicited, explicit images on Snapchat, which if you don't know Snapchat, they disappear. There's no, it's not like they text it to you. It's Snapchat. It's like visible for 5 seconds
No
and then it
paper trail.
disappears. And unwanted physical contact. There are some people who create content and are political commentators online that have said that he's tried to send them his cell phone number when they asked for, to speak to him, like people do. A lot of the political commentators reach out to the teams of politicians to try to interview them and get their, their take on something going on in Congress. And he would reply to them, not a staffer. He would reply to them and give his personal cell phone number, which is very, very not okay. Not okay.
Hella inappropriate.
Hella not okay. And as of yesterday, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office has opened a criminal investigation. They're going to be focusing on the April 2024 incident because it took place in New York. And immediately, we believe victims and survivors. We stand with them 1000%. You would think that in this case scenario, everyone would have been together and been like, fuck you, Eric. We stand with survivors. We're not going to allow another white male politician to get rewarded for sexually assaulting women with more power. We're not going to do that because look at who the president of the United States is and what we all allowed to happen. We're not going to do it. Doesn't matter if he's a Democrat. Doesn't matter what the political affiliation is. It shouldn't matter. But a lot of you immediately came online and said, well, the timing's suspicious. I'm not seeing that hard evidence. I need to see it with my own eyeballs. This feels like a Republican smear campaign. I don't believe it. I want to hear from Eric. Somebody get Eric to give his take on the situation. Immediate, I'm not believing it until I've seen it with my own eyeballs. And some of the larger creators on these apps were like, as of right now, I believe the victims. You are all of you collectively are the reason that victims don't come forward about their white male politicians who have assaulted them because they're already going up against an entire machine built to push them down. You don't know anything. You don't know if she tried to come out in the past and they said, if you do that, blackmail, all the things. You know what the president of the United States did to try to get women to shut the fuck up. So why would you think Eric Swalwell wouldn't do anything differently? He was given the rule book by the President of the United States. The white men were given the playbook. This is what you do. This is exactly what you do, and then you keep it moving and they keep electing you. And then you get so far up that it doesn't matter.
And he's a lawyer. You think he doesn't know how to protect himself?
You're also...
He's a lawyer.
This isn't the only woman. Multiple women have come forward, and creators that you follow on these apps have come forward and said that they didn't feel comfortable around him.
Your favorite white creators.
Mm-hmm.
Some of your favorite white creators.
Mm-hmm.
Will not miss an opportunity to fall over themselves to fucking cape for a straight white man that they will never meet in their entire lives.
Mm-hmm. So his statement was, of course, to deny it. What did you guys expect for him to say? You thought the white man was going to own up to what he did in 2026 when we have Trump as the president of the United States? I don't know what you guys are thinking. Of course he was going to deny it. But did you hear that he couldn't really deny it? If you actually listen to his statement, he says, I've made mistakes in the past. He's opening up the door to say that whatever happened was consensual. Because there is definitely undeniable evidence that this happened, but he is already planting the seed for him to say it was consensual and that he cheated on his wife, because he said, I made mistakes and I apologize to my wife for her having to deal with this. So we've right away planted that seed, and you guys just right over it, just right over the statement. He denied it. He really didn't. He really didn't. In white man terms, that to me was him saying I did that. Yeah. So a lot of you are like, well, what happened to innocent until proven guilty? In any job, when somebody abuses their power, when somebody assaults somebody, when somebody does anything that's a crime, usually they would be removed from that job pending whatever investigation without pay. Donezo.
Mm-hmm.
So why would the situation be any different? Why wouldn't Eric be removed from his current position and not allowed to run for any other position until the investigation is completed? If that's the logic you want to use, if you want to do that whole innocent until proven guilty, well, now there's an investigation, so he shouldn't be allowed to work in his job where this happened until the investigation's done. Then, like, you want to do that, let's go. Point blank period. We believe women. And if you don't believe women, I fucking hate you. Like, it is so... And you guys don't read the article. You didn't read the article.
You guys don't read.
Don't read. You hear the title and you're like, I don't know. That time and...
Who told them to wait?
Why would they...
That one pissed me off. Who told them to wait? I don't give a fuck if they said it the day after, 5 days, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 50 years. I believe them. I don't play that shit. We don't play that shit. You guys
are the same creators that have made multiple videos about believing the victims of Epstein. And a lot of them couldn't come forward for decades because of the blackmail and this machine, this Epstein machine that was over them. A woman killed herself because of this. You believe them, but you're not going to believe.
You guys don't care. You fake care. You guys don't care. You guys don't care about sexual assault. You really don't. You don't care about it. You don't care about women being raped. You don't care about children being assaulted. You don't care. You don't care. You don't care about racism when it came to James Tallarico. You don't care. When it comes to a white man that you like, you're willing to overlook anything they do. And to that, you are MAGA. Because that's what MAGA does. They overlook any allegation, no matter how much evidence there is when it comes to Trump. Because that's their white guy. And they're willing to overlook it. I'm telling you, these people know. They know. They don't care. That's you guys. You know this is true. And you don't care. Because in your eyes, Eric winning the election is more important. I don't. And that's the same thing they do. They want to keep House control. So they're like, fuck it. Keep the rapist in Congress. Keep the rapist in the White House. Yeah. I don't care that this might cost California another Democrat governor.
If
Maybe he shouldn't have
Californians
been
want a
raping girls.
Democrat as a governor, they will vote. The problem now is that there, like I said a couple videos or a couple episodes back, there are 7 million people running for governor. And in California, it's the two with the most votes. So if that's two Republicans, if that's two Democrats, if that's a Republican and a Democrat, it's whoever. It's not like primaries where you only go and vote based on your party and one from each goes. That's not how it is in California. So we know that Eric was a top contender, and him inevitably, as he just did, dropping out means that two Republicans could get the most votes. We understand that. We understand the stakes. But what we're not going to do is continue to reward white men. No, we're not simping for white men. We don't need that. And if California can lock the fuck in and pick one, you need to pick one. You've got to pick one at this point.
It can't be everybody.
It can't be
You have
everyone.
one governor.
I wish it could be. But you guys got to figure it out. And right now, you guys are way too divided. And it is looking at this point like two Republicans are going to get the most votes if you guys don't lock in. You guys are going to be split. Yeah. The leftists want their candidate. The liberals want their candidate.
Figure it out.
You guys have a couple weeks to figure it out. So what has happened now is that House Republicans are now going to force a vote to expel Eric Swalwell because he is currently a representative. And at the same time, House Democrats are going to force a vote to expel Tony Gonzalez, who is a Republican congressman from Texas, who is facing separate allegations involving inappropriate relationships and explicit communications with staff members himself. So two men on either side. And here's the thing. Who do you think's gonna get expelled? And who do you think's not? For the same, they both assaulted staff members.
Tony's killed herself. Mm-hmm. She lit herself on fire.
Literally covered that on this channel. This is how long it's taken for them.
A couple weeks ago.
They didn't expel him when that happened.
It's only brought up because the Republicans want to get rid of Swalwell. So they said, okay, so what about your guy?
So this week, we will see what happens. But Eric did drop out as of a couple hours ago on Sunday, dropped out, and again, still denies all the allegations. And if you are somebody that was going to vote for Eric, you need to pick someone else right now. Preferably you pick the same fucking person because this is California.
Send help. Send help.
For those wondering, in order to expel a member of Congress, it requires a 2/3 vote, as most things, 2/3 vote. And so Eric,
so we know how it's going to go.
You're definitely going to be gone. Eric's definitely going to be gone. It's if Republicans will keep that same energy for Tony.
So a dictator was voted out today. What? But you can't vote your way out of fascism. Wrong. Viktor Orban, 16-year dictator in Hungary, installed by Vladimir Putin, was voted out today. And he conceded. It was a landslide. Over 78% of Hungary's electorate voted. It wasn't even close. They knew the final results. They knew with 53% of the votes counted. They said, yup, he's cooked. But guess what happened before this election on this Sunday? Guess who paid old Vic a visit? You guessed it. John Donald Bowman, a.k.a. J.D. Vance, a.k.a. the most unpopular vice president ever. Literally, as of today, polled. Most unpopular. And guess what happened? Viktor Orban got his ass whooped. Isn't that crazy?
It's just like wild. Happened before.
Because for the past year, people have just been telling us, we're way past voting. Voting doesn't work. You can't vote out a dictator. You can't vote your way out of fascism. Violence is the only answer. Mind you, you guys haven't fired one bullet or fucking, set one thing on fire. You let other people do it, but you're not doing it. because you live in your mom's basement, right? So I think that is a sign of good things to come in this country. I think that this shows people that voting actually does matter, that when it is such a fucking landslide, when it's too big to rig, whoever it is that's the incumbent has absolutely no fucking other option to concede. Of course, these people, Trump and JD and all them, they're going to fucking contest whatever the results are of the midterms and the next presidential election. We'll stay on midterms for now. It's not up to them. It's not up to them. Oh, so they're not going to swear in their own people? Like, let's be fucking real, guys. Like, let's fucking critically think for 1 second. Oh, well, Mike Johnson's just not going to swear them in. You guys think we're going to win every House seat? You think we're going to win every Senate seat? I know Tallarico's got a tough out. You guys, so they're going to say the people that our guys, we're going to swear them in, but come on. Okay. And you guys are and some of you are pissing me off because now it's, oh, well, Hungary passing or Hungary voting him out. It's all part of the plan. The system's working. What part of Project 2025 is this? Where a dictator gets ousted, a Putin and Trump ally. I didn't see that part. I'll go back and I'll control F. I'll control F it for Viktor Orban to see what it says, because I don't, like, you guys gotta live in reality. Everything they do isn't a part of the plan. It's 2026 and they still haven't finished.
Y'all want to stay in a dictatorship. Like, you cannot tell me otherwise at this point.
Because you get views.
Yeah.
Because you get views. Because you scare people in your videos.
And you're too far deep that if we do vote our way out of this, you guys are going to look like clowns.
You will. I will ask you to delete your accounts.
Day one.
I have a whole fucking Rolodex in my brain. I'm going to say, hey, idiot, looks like we voted our way out of this.
He actually already has the video saved in the draft.
I have one tomorrow. Fucking sick of you fucking doom fantasizers. You guys are so fucking weird. You guys are fucking terrible. But at the fucking end of the day, it's possible to vote your way out of it. It has been done numerous times throughout history. Mm-hmm. It has been done. Stop with this lazy ass, everybody's the same, just does it. That's because you only show up every 4 years. You don't know what a primary is. You don't know that politicians have their policies on websites. You don't know. You just read shit off of comment sections and then you pick up your camera and you hit record. You guys don't actually know anything. And then people who are average everyday voters who don't know shit are listening to you and they're saying, that sounds right. Well, it must be. This has a whole bunch of likes on it. This must be correct. Stop listening to these people. Stop listening to people that tell you that voting doesn't matter, because it does. Again, it's been displayed. How many times do you have to see it? How many times do you have to get the blueprint? How many times? How many times?
They don't get paid. Like, people who like watch these creators, like, you have a choice to watch them or not. You do realize that. Like, you could block them. Like, you could say, oh wow, it's really starting to look like you guys don't want us to vote our way out because you don't get paid when things are going well. Because if we win back the House and the Senate, he's a lame duck president. He can't do anything. And then they can impeach him. And then all things can actually start going well. And then a lot of these content creators who apparently have nothing better to create content about, who don't realize that you could still make political content when things are going well, think they're never going to get paid again.
The doom fantasy content is just going to stop.
Like, they're like, well, what do I doom fantasize about now?
Damn, I can't just make a video about people getting health care.
Damn, I can't. Like, guys, we're going to have Nuremberg.
You know that, right?
Here. You could cover each one. Each trial.
Oh, it's not going to happen. The Nuremberg is not going to, nobody's going to get held accountable. You guys know we have to demand it, right? We have to say that's what we want. That's the whole, you dipshit.
The candidates now I'm mad again. Want to do that.
Because you want your candidate to come signed, sealed, perfectly packaged before the primary even hits.
And you won't run.
But then when you don't want to ask them for things afterwards, I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, they're not going to do it. Then fucking ask. Pick up your phone and send an email. It's easier than the imaginary revolution you're not going to do.
Pull up to their events. Pull up.
No, they're
Cameras
too
rolling.
busy at Kamala's book tour. That's more important.
No, they're too busy sitting at home laying in their bed.
Saying I told you so about something that was blatantly obvious.
Yep.
Why are you saying I told you so? They wrote it down.
Because they get paid to say that.
You guys are not smart.
Please start blocking these creators immediately.
God damn. Okay. So here's the political shenanigans of the week. In Indianapolis, a city councilman, Ron Gibson, somebody shot at his house because he was the final vote approving a Indianapolis data center. People have had enough. These data centers are terrible for the environment. They are quite literally polluting the air, the water. They're driving up people's utility bills. They're taking away people's jobs. There's literally no highlight to these things, like at all. So, hey, sorry, man. Maybe you shouldn't have voted for the data center. I don't know. Somebody threw a Molotov cocktail at Sam Altman's house. That is the CEO of OpenAI. Also another terrible person, Nazi enabler.
What does one do when somebody gets a Molotov?
ChatGPT, what do I do if somebody throws a Molotov cocktail through my window?
He's like, first of all, that's really scary, and I want to validate your feelings around that.
Mind you, your kitchen's blown up already.
That you run and move.
I suggest you leave the premises
immediately. Much love to you, brother.
Yeah. Again, hey man, I don't know, like, don't support Nazis. I'm not for it. I'm not going to do it, but I'm also not mad about it. Whatever.
Not my business.
I mind the business that minds me.
All the Luigi brownies are coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are getting your dicks real hard about this political violence. It's not considered violence. I get it. Right. So in a Kimberly Clark warehouse in California, this started off the saga of warehouse fires. It was set on fire by a worker. Still seems kind of sus because he like recorded himself doing the arson.
Yeah.
Said all you had to do was give us higher wages. Yeah, nice. Fuck him.
Weird way to ask, but
like he's gonna end up going to jail for a pretty long time, which is kind of crazy. More than a fucking child molester.
Than pedophiles.
Yeah, but yeah, no, they should have gave higher wages.
I mean, can't argue with that.
But wait, there's more. A Amazon warehouse in Ohio was set on fire. In New York, Queens, a warehouse was set on fire. This one was bad. He was mad that he lost his job, and the fire killed 4 people and a 3-year-old. And then also in New Jersey, a warehouse was set on fire. I want to make one thing clear. This isn't going to amount to anything. Everybody getting your rocks off to this shit. Oh, the revolution started. Everybody saying that, oh, this is the revolution, are the people who aren't going to do it. And you're all waiting for the next person. It's just not going to happen. Okay. Jerk off to something else. Okay. Watch porn. I don't know.
That people are at their breaking point of life. Not even breaking point with this administration. People are at their breaking point of life. The system has worn them down, and people tend to do crazy things when
it has nothing to do with Trump.
It just doesn't. And it just doesn't. No, they aren't, waking up in the morning like, okay, today's the day. I'm really going to stick it to the man, to Trump. I'm going to set this warehouse on fire. No, it's that people are losing their minds because they can't afford food and they're getting fired from their jobs, and they know how bad it is and how hard it will be to find another job, and they're choosing to just ruin their lives.
They have nothing left.
Yeah, it's sad, actually.
It is. So, I mean,
and there should be higher wages. It's just a weird way to ask for higher wages, because now, guess what? You don't get a higher wage, and now you're in jail.
Yeah, it's sad at the end of the day. I don't know. I'm not jumping for joy over it, but I also don't feel bad for the corporations.
You can't expect people to behave in an orderly fashion when this country doesn't behave in an orderly fashion.
It's the biggest wealth gap since ever. It's the biggest wealth gap. Of course somebody's gonna fucking burn down a warehouse.
During, people, like, the suicide rate skyrocketed during the 2008 recession. Like, skyrocketed. Like, this is where we're
Yeah,
heading.
it's about to be worse.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another super secret part of Project 2025. So Melania, completely unprovoked. Nobody was talking to her. Nobody was thinking about her. We all forgot. Okay.
Yeah. Since her movie.
Melania popped up. I was on a ferry. We were going to the auto show, and I said, "What?" Melania popped up at a podium solo by herself.
I was so excited that was going to be the.
I was not a victim of a Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't know.
I don't know him. I happened to meet my husband by chance. Nobody introduced me. Jeffrey Epstein did not introduce me to my husband. Be best. We said, girl, who asked you that?
Is somebody holding
Where did this
to her?
come from? Are you okay? And then, of course, the Doom fantasizer said, oh my God, this is all part of the plan. They're just saying this, okay, because they wanted people to forget about the Epstein files, but now the war is so bad, they're bringing back up the Epstein files so people can forget about the war. Like, y'all don't listen to yourselves. You really don't. You don't think as you're typing these things or saying them out loud, but whatever.
Yeah, go off. That's definitely a way to take away from the Iran war, is to bring back up the Epstein files. Exactly.
And like, so we found out why, like a half hour later. So this 41-year-old Brazilian model, Amanda Angaro, I believe she had some type of government position. She was held in an ICE detention center for a couple of months. Mm-hmm. And she's the ex-girlfriend of Paolo Zempoli, who was on that Hungary trip with JD. Longtime Trump ally. He's been around since 2020. She has been threatening to ruin Melania on Twitter. She's just dropping receipts, proof, timeline, fucking everything. Just going ham on Twitter. Mm-hmm. Twitter fingers going crazy. So, I mean, maybe I'm dumb, but again, I don't remember reading the part in Project 2025 where Amanda just starts dropping receipts about Melania not knowing, or Melania being associates with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, Melania pulled a Bill Clinton.
I don't remember.
She said, I did not have sexual relations with that man.
Crazy work. Melania Clinton is wild work.
I mean,
Melania Clinton is crazy work.
Out there and gave her. I did not.
Unprovoked is wild. I can't.
She said, this will do it. Surely. This will
throw them off the trail.
She definitely
They'll never
didn't
suspect
run that by Trump.
But yeah, he said he didn't. Our MS Now said that he knew, and then CNN said that he knew. He didn't know. He was pissed. He was tight. And how could I forget? How did I even forget this? Where he posted a video on True. That's crazy that got lost. He posted a video on True Social of a woman getting murdered with a hammer to the head. How could I forget that? He posted that, and it was not even 24 hours after Melania had hopped up on that podium. And of course, everyone said, oh my God, this is all part of the plan. He posted that video of that woman getting murdered to distract from the fact that Melania was distracting from the war that was distracting initially from the Epstein files. It was all part. No, his wife pissed him off. He has dementia, and there is no more filter. So he saw a video of a woman getting murdered, and he said, hell yeah, here's a twofer. This woman's getting murdered by a brown guy, so I can keep them riled up with saying, let's get rid of the illegals. And also, I want this to happen to my wife. Mm-hmm. That's what happened. Because he didn't get to sell that story. She gave that story for free. Mm-hmm. So he looks like a fool. Free on the dollar. She strut out there free 99. Free. He couldn't sell that to TMZ if he wanted to. No. He didn't make any money off that speech, and that's why he's upset. Trust. He was mad that they couldn't find a way to sell that story. Yeah. So he said, you know what? Woman hammer to the head? That sounds he was looking her dead in her eyes when he posted that. He said that sounds pretty good. Repost.
Repost.
Double tap. Hey, MAGA, good news. There will be an automatic selective service. Your sons, as soon as they hit 18 to 25, automatically registered for selective service. They don't even have to do anything. They're just
Simple.
doing it right there for you. They got it. They got it. You don't even need to show up at the enlistment office. Hell yeah, it's easy. Don't worry though, they won't register them to vote.
No, they won't.
We don't want, because voting doesn't matter. So why we don't want, but you can go die for Israel. Now that
You don't even have to do anything.
And we'll promise you that Camaro, but you won't get it because you're gonna die on the Strait of Hormuz. You're gonna have a watery grave over oil. So
I guess not enough of you are showing up at the enlistment office.
Yeah, what are you guys waiting for?
You shouldn't have had
the revolution people, the MAGA people saying this war is totally necessary. We're liberating.
So there should have been plenty, and that should have been enough. There should have been
We
a second rat. Like, there should have been a second string. There should have been bench warmers.
We should have won the war 20 times. We only won it like 5 times. You guys are holding us up.
Have occupied Iran.
Bibi should be the president of Iran right now. He should be supreme leader. What the guys, come on.
No, guys.
It's okay. Your kids are going to get registered. It's all right because they're tired of waiting for you. They're
and
tired.
You can tell
you guys
them
are
why.
taking too long.
You can tell them why.
Taking too long. In no shocking turn of events, the Republicans are trying to get Pam Bondi out of testifying under oath because she is no longer the acting attorney general. And then again, everyone said, oh my God, we called it. This is part of the plan. No, you didn't. No, we know that. We know they don't show up for hearings. You're not smart. You're not like, stop. Oh my God, this is part of Project 2025 in 3/4. Yeah, of course. She's going to have to testify. They can put it off as long as they want.
Yep.
That's fine. She's going to show up eventually. She's done it before.
They don't do it now. Went back to the House and the Senate. She'll have to do a lot of testifying. Won't just be that.
And hey, guys, don't forget, when we do that, you have to demand it. You have to say, hey, guys, we gave you power again.
Do the thing.
Go get her.
Mm-hmm.
We want to live stream it. We want to watch it. Okay.
Public
demand it. This one's bad.
Yeah.
So the regime, they want the medical records of millions of federal workers. They want the prescriptions they filled, the treatments they've received. That's giving very transcoded to me. And this came from a notice from the Office of Personnel Management. And HIPAA, you in trouble, girl. This would require 65 insurance companies that cover more than 8 million people, including federal workers, members of Congress, that's not sketchy, mail carriers, and their family members. Everything.
Sounds like they want to know who is getting abortions. Sounds like they want to know who is getting treatments for reproductive rights. Any type, because we all know it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Everything's an abortion if it doesn't result in human life. They want to know if anyone is getting gender reassignment surgery immediately with a swiftness. Absolutely. They want to know that.
Probably if you're autistic.
Yeah, if you're autistic.
Probably if you're on antidepressants.
Disorder.
Because they want to discriminate.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
They want to have the people that they like.
You guys can't have health care, but you know what you can't have? Us in your fucking business.
It's okay though, because Kamala would have done the same thing.
Yeah, of course. She would have demanded that day one.
She would have demanded.
If you wanted any medical treatments, you have to get permission from Kamala first. That was what she was going to do.
It would have been exactly the same.
Yeah, actually would have been worse. Yeah, she would absolutely.
Wow. Thank God we dodged that bullet.
And everyone's not talking about that. They're too worried about Melania's speech.
Oh no, they're too upset that they're too upset and coping with the fact that dictator's going to be voted out. Figuring out how to spin that.
Short circuiting over here. This is the thing that I'm like, ooh, this is bad. This is where I would fearmonger. This is not good. But the rest of you guys are like, but Melania's speech, that's not good. That's not good.
What does it mean?
There's undertones.
Is this part of the
I just fucking can't. Ice update for this week. They shot someone again, and it said that the person was using their car as a deadly weapon. I wonder where they learned to do that. Carlos Hernandez was shot 6 times. Like, he is in recovery. It's going to be a very long road. He's going to need to have surgeries. He's got bullet fragments in his body.
the face?
They already lined this shit up and said that he tried to run them over and they opened fire. His lawyer is saying, no, they started shooting at him, and that's when he drove away. Sound familiar?
They don't even try. It's the same thing every time.
It's almost like somebody gave them a playbook from a recent incident. Again, don't care that he was being questioned. Don't care that he was from El Salvador. I don't care. You don't start firing into somebody's car because you know you're going to get away with it. No, we're not doing that. But apparently we are. This is the world we live in. Ridiculous. Do not comply in advance is going to the Pope. Who would have thought? Who would have thought he would win the Do Not Comply in Advance award? But he has been very outspoken about this war in Iran, and he is saying, what the fuck is the United States doing? I'm from the United States. What the fuck are you guys doing? Don't do that. You don't get to decide who lives. You don't get to decide who runs whose country. Who do you think you are? And, well, when we tell you that Trump did not like that, because that puts him in a little pickle. You see, because he's quite loved by a lot of people who are religious. They like to think that Trump is like Jesus coming back to earth. Like, that's what they view him as. But when you have the literal Pope saying, no, this is not a good ban, now you've put his loyal following in a situation where they have to choose to be loyal to the Pope and God or loyal to Trump. And you know what, guys? They're picking Trump because now the white Christian nationalists are like, well, we don't like Catholics. We don't like the Catholics. So
JD, you have anything to say?
Pete Hegseth summoned the Pope's ambassador. You guys should come to the Pentagon and let's talk. We'll show you why we're in Iran. And to that, the Pope's ambassador said, no, we're not coming. The Pope doesn't want to come see you. He doesn't want to come meet you or Trump. He's good.
Ew.
He's actually booked and busy. So he's not coming. And to that we say, this is the do not comply in advance. Because he could show up and maybe berate them and give them a stern talking to. But even the Pope said, it's not worth. That's a waste of my breath. It's like talking to a brick fucking wall. And all they're going to do is spin it. Now, what I think would happen is the Pope's going to show up and Trump's going to be like, you're so much better looking in person. You're actually a really nice guy. And like, come over whenever, like he did to Mamdani. And Pete's, probably going to yell at him and Trump's going to be like, don't yell at him.
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy. He just doesn't understand.
He's the king of religion.
He's got a lot to handle over there. Am I right?
Yeah. Over there in Pope land.
See, we liberated Chicago for you.
When are you going to let me ride in the Pope mobile?
Yeah, let me ride in the Pope mobile. They were thinking of me for the Pope.
I was on the ballot.
I was right on your tail there. Right on your tail.
I came in second.
Yeah, I hate religion. I fucking hate organized religion. But boy, Pope Leo, good job on that. Keep it up. Keep calling them out because you put them in such a weird, this is where I see the white Christian nationalists kind of go,
They're running out of excuses.
They're ready with the excuses, but this one really just puts a dent in things for them. They're like, how do we spin this? Okay, we're just gonna hate on Catholicism.
He's making it tough on you guys. You guys are running out of excuses, all of you, like under 2 years. Oof.
Keep it coming. I love watching you guys do backflips to try to make it make sense.
What's August gonna look like?
Yikes on bikes. Let's end with, yes, that really did happen. Coming in strong, Hunter Biden said, your kid, my kid, he challenged Trump's son to a cage match. He said, the
Do it.
sons, let's go.
Do it.
Let's go. And to that I say, I mean, Trump wanted UFC right on the White House front lawn.
We got UFC at home.
Do it. Do it. Come on. They won't. They won't.
That man did meth. He fuck them.
Go. He said,
Stab it
your
up.
sons do drugs too. Let's go.
What's up? Meth versus coke. Which is better?
Pick your poison. I'll even fight the tall, lanky one.
Same time.
It would be like,
2v1.
No, not my son.
No, not my favorite son. You could take Eric.
Ugh. I'd love to see
Do it.
that, but they will never let it happen. No, because Trump's too busy at a UFC event while Pantaloons is trying to make fake deals happen with Iran, and then he has to do this walk of shame out to the podium and say, no deal.
It's all part of the plan, guys.
But-
it's all part of Project
They
555.
they should be thankful that we're going to keep talking to them. They should be thankful that we're keeping that door open because,
Mm-hmm.
you know, meanwhile, Trump's at the UFC event where it was crickets, him walking in. You would have thought that Stephen Colbert got that footage and put like crickets over it.
They
And
were
for
just
real
blaring
footage.
Kid Rock. But the people weren't
Go
people
louder.
weren't like, it was just like every couple of people you just had and they weren't even hyped. They were just like,
They were like, I feel like I should just film this. It was so robotic.
I guess
They're
I'll
like,
film it to say I was here.
faces, him stumbling out. They're like, this is just a bad look, man. The worst vice president in history, you're sending him to do the negotiating. And Trump's like, I can't negotiate. I can't even stay awake. And then everyone in the comments is like, well, we can't hold JD Vance to the fire. He's just the vice president. Okay. So if you guys bring the same energy when JD Vance runs for president, that whatever happened during that term has nothing to do with him because he was just the vice president, when you guys put everything Joe Biden did on Kamala Harris, then we'll know that it was always just that she was a woman, a black woman. Then
You
we'll
guys
know.
are racist. You guys are racist. You guys are racist. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys.
Next, something we kind of already talked about. Fox and Friends was like, hey, Trump, come on up and talk about these gas prices. Are they going to be low before the midterms? Because like this shit is not looking good. And he's like,
Wink, wink.
I mean, I would love that, but no, they're probably going to be higher. And they were like,
A layup. A layup. A layup.
Okay.
They said, hey, Don, are the prices going to be lower before the midterms? Huh?
huh? And he was like, no.
Best I can do is 20 a gallon.
You would think Trump would say, they wanted him to say, actually, no, we're going to see a 600% decrease. We're actually going to pay you to get gas.
And her face dropped. She was like, this fucking moron. Cut.
You know, and at this point, we should know not to let him talk into a hot mic. But no, they said, you know who else you should call? You should call the Artemis 2 astronauts up in space. Say something nice, okay? Make it unforgettable, okay? Just thank them. Tell them you're not a flat earther. You love NASA. Just do it. And he was like, okay. He rambled. He was like, there's one Canadian up there as our next door neighbors. We love our neighbors. This is cool. You guys are doing a little wraparound of the moon. That's cool. And we are the greatest country in the world. And we're doing great things down here. And you guys are doing cool things up there. Yeah. Cool. And the whole team of astronauts was laughing at him.
If I saw a tumbleweed, I would have.
It was like a tumbleweed. They were just playing with the microphone. And then they didn't say anything.
Nobody touched it. The microphone was just floating.
So then it was silence for a good minute. It was a good minute of silence. To finally, one of the astronauts grabbed the mic and was like, are we moving on? Is he still on the phone? And then Trump was like, yeah, I'm still on the phone.
Is he still here?
And he was like, "Yep, I'm still here." And they were like, "Yeah,
Oh, okay.
okay." He's like, "I'm gonna hang up now." Okay.
That's all you have to do, guys. Like, that's all the U.S. men's hockey team had to do.
The hard cut to Kamala Harris calling them. And they're like, "Yeah!"
Auntie.
And she's like, "Tell me everything. You guys are breaking barriers." It was nothing about her. She was like, like you guys are figuring out how we can get to the moon. This is amazing. Talk about this." And they're like, "Yes, we love this. We love this. We love this." Meanwhile, Trump's like, "Am I still in the vote?" They should have done a three-way call. That would have been really funny.
Oh
Is that
my
is that
god.
Kamala? Yes, Dawn.
They say she's not black.
She doesn't like the
Come on.
Canadian. She
I posted a video of a woman getting murdered.
She is actually an undercover Canadian spy.
She's a Canadian Iranian spy.
The long, awkward pause is everything I needed, and even the astronauts, they're like, "We're not playing this shit." Like, that Canadian astronaut was like, "We know what you did."
They were like, hang up.
Middle finger.
That was okay.
So good. They landed safely, everyone. And he said he's looking forward to having them at the White House, to which they didn't say anything. And so we can only hope that they say, "We're booked and busy. Sorry, Donnie. You're not on our victory tour."
We got astronaut stuff to do.
We're actually have anywhere else to be.
We're actually going back. We're going back to the moon.
We're trying to figure out how to form life on another planet.
We're trying to get the fuck off of here.
Like,
Actually.
2030, okay? Yeah. We're like trying to help out the USA and like find another place for you guys to go.
Yeah, we're trying to get everyone.
It's just a dumpster fire, guys, every fucking week. But primaries are still happening.
Check your voter
Check
registration.
your voter
Stop being a bitch about it.
registrations. May's a big month
Please.
of primaries. California, I don't have any words of encouragement.
Nah, I don't have any faith there. The way it's going,
And I'm not endorsing your leftist candidate. Sorry.
I
I'm not
just
like
don't
that I'm
see
saying
Butch
Katie
Ware.
Porter, but like I have to go with what I feel like could be potential, and it's Katie Porter.
Yeah, I don't see Butch Ware and Ramsey Robinson winning. Sorry.
Sorry. Maybe
Don't hate him, but
this is the issue we have with leftists that are like, "I just want my candidate." The thing is, you guys don't vote enough. You don't vote. Your girl
you don't vote enough, or you guys can't agree on a person.
Yeah, because
You
you guys
guys
have
can't.
like 3 people running, and now you're fighting with each other over which candidate.
You're already a minority.
That's why Eric Swalwell is gonna win. So you have to go with the next kind of corporate-y Dem, and that's Katie.
Sorry.
I don't love her, but this is where we're at.
Well, good luck.
Good luck.
Hope you don't get a
Please.
Republican.
Yeah. That's just
Mm,
that's all I have to say. Lock
it's out
in
of our
or don't.
hands. It's above me. It's above my pay grade.
Stay tuned
Sorry.
for Chat GRC this Thursday, because we're still doing
More
that over
candidates.
here.
Yeah, we're still doing that. Voting matters.
And we'll see you next week with hopefully better news.
Yeah,
Probably
hopefully.
not. Bye. Peace.